remember how we do the morning tune for the Goranga Nahito? We were doing it. Yeah. Yeah. Go. Haribo.
On page 68, if you guys want to follow along.
Haribo. Representing Canada. Hari Hari.
Great place. There you go. Page 68, if you guys want to follow along. Sure.
Chari Goranga Nahito Tabi. Wait, no, dang it. I'm so used to doing it like that. Tabi ka hoito Kemone dorite de Radha Ramima Prema Rasa Sima Jagate Janato ke Madhura Vrinda Vipina Madhuri Prabhesha Chaturi Sara Varaja Yuvati Bhavera Bhakati Shakati Hoito Kara Gau Puna Puna Urangera Guna Sarala Hoyamana E Bhava Sagare E Mona Doyala Nadeke De Kajana Goranga Bolia Nagena Galia Kemone Doruna De Narahariya Pasanariya Kemone Doriache Goranga Nahito Tabeke Hoito Kemone Dorito De Radha Mahima Prema Rasa Sima Jagate Janato Ke Jaya Sachinandan Jaya Gaurari Sachinandan Jaya Gaurari Jaya Sachinandan Jaya Gaurari Sachinandan Jaya Gaurari Jaya Nitai Jaya Go Jaya Nitai Jaya Go Jaya Nitai Jaya Go Jaya Nitai Jaya Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. English?
Yeah.
If Sri Gauranga had not appeared, then what would have become of us? How would we have survived? Who could have taught the world about the glories of Srimati Radharani and the topmost limit of Prem Ras? Who would have had true insight to enter the sweet rapture of the forest of Vrindadevi, and the power to render loving service in the mood of the damsels of Braj? With a simple heart, always sing about Gauranga's glorious qualities. I cannot see even one person as compassionate as he is in this ocean of material existence. Even though I chant Gauranga, my heart has not melted. How do I continue to maintain this body? How has Narahari been created with a stone in place of a heart? All right, Nanda Nanda.
289. And then we go to 286 after. Or 285. Yeah, 285 after.
Suchara Bhakcha Mandalam Sukarna Radna Kundalam Suchachitanga Chandanam Namami Nandanandanam Sudigane Pankajam Sikhi Sikanda Modajam Ananga Koti Mohanam Namami Nandanandanam Sunasikagram Swachandadanta Panktikam Navam Budanga Chikanam Namami Nandanandanam Karena Venuranjitam Gati Karenja Ganjitam Dakula Pita Shobhanam Namami Nandanandanam Tribhanga Deha Sundaram Nakaduti Sudakaram Amuyarat Nabhushanam Namami Nandanandanam Sugandhanga Sorabhamuro Viraji Kostubham Swarat Srivatsavancanam Namami Nandanandanam Vrindavana Sunagaram Vilasanugavasasam Sarendra Garva Mochanam Namami Nandanandanam Rajangana Sunayakam Sada Sukha Pradayakam Jaganmana Pralobanam Namami Nandanandanam Shrinandanandanastakam Patet Yashadayanvita Ladet Bhava Bindustaram Lavetarangri Mokshakam Namami Nandanandanam Namami Nandan. Page 285. Namami Nandanandanam Muninja Vindavandite Triloka Shokaharini Prasana Bhakcha Pankaje Nikunja Bhuvilasani Brajendra Bhanu Nandini Brajendra Sunu Sangate Kadakarisya Siyamam Kripa Kataksha Bhajan Ashoka Vriksha Valari Vitana Mandapastite Prabhala Bala Palava Prabharunangri Komale Parabhaya Sparakare Prabhuta Sampadalaye Kadakarisya Siyamam Kripa Kataksha Bhajanam Anangaranga Mangala Prasanga Bhangara Bhuvam Savibramam Sasambramam Dirganta Vanapatana Nirantaram Vasikrita Prititi Nandanandane Padakarisya Amam Kripa Kataksha Bhajanam Tadit Suvarna Champaka Pradipta Goda Vigrahe Mukha Prabha Parasta Koti Sararendu Mandale Vichitra chitra sanchara chakora savalochane Kadakarisya siyamam Kripakatakshabhat Madon madati yovane Pramodamana mandite Priyanuragaranjite Kalavilasa pandite Ananya danya kunjaraja kamakeri kovide Kadakarisya siyamam Kripakatakshabhajanam Asheshaha vabhavadira iravushite Kavutasat kumbha kumbha kumbi kumbha susta Prasastamandahasya chonapon Sakya sagare Kadakarisya siyamam Kripakatakshabhajam Mrinalavalari Tarangarangadorlate Latagralasya lolani Lalochanavalokane Lalan lulan milan manogya mugdha mohanashite Kadakarisya siyamam Kripakatakshabhajanam Suvarna malikanchita Chireka kambukantage Chisutra mangali guna Triratna dipti diriti Salolani lakuntala prasuna gucha gumpite Kadakarisya siyamam Kripakatakshabhajanam Nitamba bimbalamba mana pushpa mekalagune Prasastara akinkeni kalapa madhya manjule Karindra sundha dandika varo aso vagoruke Kadakarisya siyamam Kripakatakshabhajam Aneka manchanadaman Dupararavaskala Samajarat Hamsavam sanigmanati gaurave Vilolahe mavalari vidam vicharu chankame Kadakarisya siyamam Kripakatakshabhajam Ananta koti Vishnu lokanam rapadmajarchite Imaji japalo maja virincha javarakade Aparasili redhi digdha satkadangulina ke Kadakarisya siyamam Makeshwari, Kriyeshwari, Swadeshwari, Toreshwari, Triveda-Bharatishwari, Ramana Shasaneshwari, Rameshwari, Kshameshwari, Pramodakana, Ishwari, Bajari, Pe, Shirari, Pe, Namos, Iti Mamadbhutam Stavam Nishamya Bhanunandini, Karotu Santam Janam Kripaka Kataksha Bhajan Pavirta Daiva Sanchita Chirupa Karmanasanam Pavirta Rajendra Sunu Mandala Pravesha Kadakarisya Siyama Kripa Kataksha Bhajan Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Shri Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Krishna Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Krishna.
So today is the first day of Katyayani Vrata. So can we sing to Yoga Maya?
Yeah.
Page 224. That'll be the last.
Okay.
And then we'll be in English.
Morning tune for this?
Yeah.
Amara samana hina nahi samare samsare samana hina nahi samsare astira echi pori bhava parabare astira echi pori paravare kula devi yoga maya more kripa kori kula devi yoga maya more kripa kori avarana sambharive kave vishwadari sunechi agame vede mahima tomara sunechi agame vede mahima tomara Shri Krishna vimuke bari kare samsara Shri Krishna vimuke bari kare samsara Shri Krishna samukya jara vagya krame hoya Tare mukti diya karo ashoka bhaya Edase janani kori akaita vadoya Edase janani kori Vrindavane deho sthana tumi yoga maya Tomare la langeya kota jive Krishna paya tomare langeya kota jive Krishna paya Krishna rasa prakatilo tomara kripaya prakatilo tumi Krishna anuchari Jagata Janani Tumi Krishna Anu Tumi Dekaile More Krishna Chintamani Tumi Dekaile More Krishna Chintamani Niskapata hoye mata chamora pane Niskapate hoye chamora pane Vaishnave Vishwasa Vriddhi Pratikshane Vaishnava Charana Bina Bhava Paravara Vaishnava Charana Bina Bhava Paravara Bhakati Vinoda Nare Hoi Bhare Para Amara Samana Hina Nahi samsare Mare samana ina Nahi samsare Astiraye chipori Baba parabare Purnamasi Jaya Yoga Maya Purnamasi Jaya Yoga Maya Jaya Purnamasi Jaya Yoga Maya Purnamasi Jaya Purnamasi Jaya Yoga Maya Purnamasi Jaya Yoga Maya Jaya Purnamasi Jaya Yoga Maya Purnamasi Jaya Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo There is no one in this world as wretched as I am. Having fallen into the vast ocean of material existence, I have become most agitated. O Yogamaya, O worshipful goddess of the Vaishnavas, O mother of the universe, when will you bestow your mercy and lift your veil of Mahamaya? I have heard your glories from the Vedic literatures. You bind the souls who are averse to Krishna and make them engage in worldly life. To that person who, through the gradual dawning of good fortune, develops a favorable disposition toward Sri Krishna, you grant liberation and make him free from lamentation and fear. O Mother, Please show your causeless mercy to this servant, and grant me shelter in Vrindavan, for you are Yogamaya herself. By disregarding you, how can the jivas attain Sri Krishna? Krishna manifested his Rasa Lila pastimes only by your mercy. You are an eternal companion of Sri Krishna, and the mother of the universe. You have shown me the transcendental wish-fulfilling jewel of Krishna consciousness. O Mother, please glance upon me without reservation, so that my faith in the Vaishnavas may increase at every moment. Without taking shelter of the lotus feet of Vaishnavas, Bhaktivinod is not able to cross the ocean of material existence. Yogamaya Devi ki jai.
We'll find out more about her in a bit. Papers.
Okay.
You completely forgot about it.
Well, I thought we were doing Maha Mantra.
Oh, we didn't do it?
Not yet.
Okay.
Oh, so that's you want to sing?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ho Nita Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nita Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nita Gora Hari Bo. Ho Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Ho Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Ho Nita Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nita Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nita Gora Hari Bo.
Agyanam timirandasya Gyananjana salakaya Chaksurunmilitamena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tvadalai Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namah. Yang Pravajantam Manupedam Apetagridyam Dvaipayana Virahaka Taruajuhava Putredita Taya Taravo Benedos Tang Sarvabhutaridayam Munimanatosmi Bhaktya Vinay Aparadavakshay Chaktat Kamadi Tarangamadye Kripamaitvam Sharanam Prapadyam Vrindena Ste Charanarvindam Tavoy Vasmi Najivami Tambina Iti Vigyaya Radhe Tam Nayamam Charananti Angashamalim Chat. I know this is the last day. Angashamalim Chatabirabito Mandi Kritendivaram Jadyam Jagurarochisam Pagadatam Patambara Syasriya Vrindananya Vilasinam Vidila Saddamabhiramodaram Radha Skandani Vishito Pujam Jaya Madamodaram Jaya Madamodaram. For what? Oh. I have it. I have it in 4 books.
Oh, okay. Did you see what I sent you also?
No.
I saw this on someone's Facebook page. Birthday of 1998.
Okay. I'll read it with only 4 books. First, I offer my unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Diksha Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Asto Sat Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, and the same unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Shiksha Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Asto Sat Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, to Srila Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, to our grandfather Gurudevs, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj, and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, to all of his divine associates, and to all the assembled devotees. And the assembled devotees, Diksha Gurus, who are my Shiksha Gurus, Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta, Madhav Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta, Pan Maharaj, and Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Siddhandi Maharaj, and so on. So today, the day after the end of Kartik, is the beginning of Katyayani Vrata, wherein the gopis worshipped Katyayani. We'll also hear from Gurudev who she is, for 1 month to get Krishna as a husband, or actually as a beloved. So, fortunately, yesterday, I thought we were going to be able to get our tickets to Miami, but there was some delay, so we didn't bother going to Delhi, and so we're in Vrindavan at Rup Sanatan Gaudiya Math. So we get to walk around the block to Chirghat, where the gopis worshipped Katyayani. So here we are at that tree. Let's offer our obeisances, roll in the dust here. And you can see all the gopis' clothing folded over on the branches of the tree. Can you see that? Okay. So it's not here now, but there was an ancient Kadamba tree on the bank of the Jamuna where Krishna stole the clothes of the young gopis who were bathing here, right here where we are, bathing here after having completed their Katyayani Vrata. This is at 1 month later. These young unmarried girls of Braj were daily bathing in Sri Jamuna at Brahma Muhurta time. Brahma Muhurta is 1.5 hours before sunrise to sunrise. That's a very, very good time for spiritual activities. There's more power there. They would make a deity of Katyayani, who is another form of Yogamaya, who we just sang to. Yogamaya is Krishna's pastime potency, or his spiritual potency for making all the pastimes happen. Yogamaya is an expansion of Radharani for that purpose. She controls all the Brajbasis. She makes Krishna and the gopis dance because she's also the embodiment of Prem. She makes all Krishna and the gopis dance, and she, Prem, also dances. But Srimati Radhika forgets that this powerful potency is her expansion. So she is just subordinate to that potency by her will. So they would make a deity of Katyayani, Yogamaya, out of sand and worship her on the bank of the Jamuna while reciting the following verse, which I hope we can all learn. Katyayani Mahamaye Mahayogin Yadisvari Nanda Gopa Sutam Devi Patime Kurute Namaha. This is from 10th Canto, 21st chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Which means, O Goddess Katyayani, O Mahamaya, Mahayogini, O mighty controller of all, please make the son of Nanda Maharaj my husband, but they really want to be his beloved. I offer my respects unto you. So it was at the end of the Brat that Krishna himself arrived there, and on the excuse of stealing their clothes, bestowed upon them their desired boon. Your heart's desire, he said, will be fulfilled on the night of the next Sarad Purnima. Sarad Purnima is the full moon night in autumn. Near Sargar is another place. We also went there and during the last Kartik Vrat, which is about an hour from here. Near Sargar is another place which is famous as Chirgat. And a Kadamba tree also stands there. There is no doubt that both these places are Chirgat. How? Very interesting answer. The same pastime takes place in different eras, or it's called Kalpa Bhed. This is not Ved as in Veda, but Bheda, or in different kalpas. And therefore, it can occur in more places than one. Like, for example, Radharani appeared on a 1,000-petaled lotus flower to Vrishabhanu Maharaj as a newborn baby, both in Vrishabhanupur, where he had a lake in his village, and also in Raval. So we're going to be hearing from Srila Prabhupada, and we're going to be hearing from Srila Gurudev and from Srila Param Gurudev about this pastime. So generally, if you worship a particular deity for a particular benediction, it's that deity who appears. So it wasn't Katyayani or Durga Mahamaya who appeared, because really they were worshipping the spiritual energy. You'll never find a devotee worshipping material energy, even though it's talked about as a demigod, but we'll find out more and more interesting facts. So it actually was Krishna who appeared to them. So really their whole meditation, they weren't thinking about anybody except for Krishna, just going through some motions. And we're going to get into the details of that pastime by hearing from our Srila Prabhupada. This is in chapter 22. See, the chapters in Prabhupada's Krishna book, which is a summary study of the 10th canto. The chapters usually match. Like 10th canto, 22nd chapter is the 22nd chapter of the Krishna book. So according to the Vedic civilization, unmarried girls from 10 to 14 are supposed to worship either Lord Shiva or Durga in order to get a nice husband. But the unmarried girls of Vrindavan were already attracted to the beauty of Krishna. They were, however, engaged in the worship of the goddess Durga in the beginning of the Hemanta season. Remember, it was, I think, yesterday or the day before yesterday. Yesterday was Purnima. So Srila Bharati Maharaj wrote, we read, that it's the first, that this is the night of the Hemantika Rasa Lila. Hemanta, the winter, beginning of the winter season. Or just prior. The first month of Hemanta is called Agra Hayana, October, November. So we just like ending our first week of November. And at that time, all the unmarried gopis of Vrindavan began to worship goddess Durga with a vow. They first ate havishan, which is a kind of foodstuff prepared by boiling together mung dal and rice without any spices or turmeric, just completely bland. According to the Vedic injunction, this kind of foodstuff is recommended to purify the body before one enacts a ritualistic ceremony. All the unmarried gopis in Vrindavan used to daily worship goddess Katyayani early in the morning after taking bath in the river Jamuna. Katyayani is another name for goddess Durga. The goddess is worshipped by preparing a dal. You make your own dal made out of sand from the bank of the Jamuna. It is recommended in the Vedic scriptures that a deity may be made from different kinds of material elements. Like it can be paint, like we see in a few of these rooms. It can be metal, like we see here. It could be made of jewels. It could be made of wood, earth, or stone, as you see here. Or it can be conceived in the heart of the worshipper. These are 8 kinds of archa vigraha, or worshipful deities. The Mayavad philosopher takes all these forms of the deity to be imaginary, but actually they're accepted in the Vedic literatures to be identical with either the Supreme Lord or the respective demigod. The unmarried gopis used to prepare the deity of goddess Durga and worship it with chandan pulp, that is sandalwood pulp, right? Garlands, just like the devotees do here on the altar. Garlands, incense, lamps, and all kinds of presentations. Fruits, grains, and twigs of plants. After worshiping, it is the custom to pray for some benediction. The unmarried girls used to pray with great devotion. Does this need to get a little drop lower because there's a squeak? With great devotion. O Supreme, external energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. O Supreme mystic power. O Supreme Controller of this world. O Goddess, please be kind to us and arrange for our marriage with the son of Nanda Maharaj. The Vaishnavas generally do not worship any demigods. Srila Narottam Das Thakur has strictly forbidden all worship of the demigods for anyone who wants to advance in pure devotional service. Yet, the gopis who are beyond compare in their affection for Krishna were seen to worship Durga. The worshippers of demigods also sometimes mention that the gopis also worship the goddess Durga, so it's all right for us. But we must understand the purpose of the gopis. The gopis could accept any means to satisfy and serve Krishna. That was the super excellent characteristic of the gopis. They worshipped goddess Durga completely for 1 month in order to have Krishna as their husband. Every day they prayed for Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, to become their husband or beloved. They would assemble together, capturing each other's hands, and loudly sing of the wonderful pastimes of Krishna. So see, they weren't thinking of Katyayani at all. It is an old system among Indian girls and women that when they take bath in the river, they place their garments on the bank and dip into the water completely naked. The portion of the river where the girls and women bathe was strictly prohibited for any male member. And this is still the system. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, knowing the minds of the unmarried young gopis, benedicted them with their desired objective. They had prayed for Krishna to become their husband, and he wanted to fulfill their desire. Only the husband could see the wife naked. No one else can see her in that way. So in that way, also he was accepting them as their husband. At the end of the month, Krishna, along with his friends, appeared on the scene. Another name of Krishna is Yogesvara, or the master of all mystic powers. By practicing meditation, the yogi can study the psychic movements of other men, and certainly Krishna could understand the desire of the gopis. See, a yogi can do that by practicing meditation. And Krishna is the greatest yogi, called Yogesvara, the controller of all other yogis. He immediately collected all the garments of the gopis, climbed up on a nearby tree, and with smiling face began to speak to them. Do you know what he said? I'll tell you. Actually, I'm not telling you. Prabhupada is telling you. My dear girls, please come here, one after another, and pray for your garments, and then take them away. I'm not joking with you. I'm just telling the truth. I have no desire to play any joke with you. It's like we were just hearing during breakfast, Lord Chaitanya used to tell his parents, I know everyone's complaining about me, the Brahmins in meditation, the girls, everyone's complaining about me, but actually, I didn't go there today. I didn't go to bathe in the river today. I'm just coming straight from school. So I have no desire to joke with you, for you have observed the regulative principles for 1 month by worshipping Goddess Katyayani. Please do not come here all at once. Come alone. I want to see each of you in your complete beauty. For you have all thin waists. I have requested you to come alone. Now please comply. When the girls in the water heard such joking words from Krishna, they began to look at one another and smile. They were very joyous to hear such a request because they were already in love with him. Out of shyness, they looked at one another but they could not come out. Due to remaining in the water for a long time, they felt cold and were shivering. Yet upon hearing the pleasing and joking words of Govinda, their minds were perturbed with great joy. They began to tell him, "Dear son of Nanda Maharaj, please do not joke with us in this way. It's completely unjust to us. You are a very respectable boy because you are the son of Nanda Maharaj and you are very dear to us. But don't play this joke on us because now we're all shivering from cold water. Kindly deliver our garments immediately, otherwise we shall suffer." They then began to appeal to Krishna with great submission. "Dear Shamasundar, we are all your eternal servitors. Whatever you order us to do, we are obliged to perform without hesitation. But if you insist on putting this proposal to us, which is impossible to perform, then certainly we will have to go to Nanda Maharaj and lodge a complaint. If Nanda Maharaj does not take action, then we will go and tell King Kamsa about your misbehavior." Upon hearing this appeal, Krishna answered, "My dear girls, if you think that you're my eternal servitors and you are ready to execute my order, then my request is that, with your smiling faces, please come here alone, one after another, and take away your garments. If you do not come here, however, if you lodge complaints to my father, I don't care anyway. For I know my father is old and cannot take any action against me." When the gopis saw that Krishna was strong and determined, they had no alternative but to abide by his order. One after another they came out of the water, but because they were completely naked, they tried to cover their nakedness by placing their left hand over their pubic area. In that posture, they were all shivering. Their simple presentation was so pure that Krishna immediately became pleased with them. People criticize Gurudev that Prabhupada never spoke like this. You're a Sahajiya. All the unmarried girls who prayed to Krishna, who prayed to Katyayani to have Krishna as their husband, were thus satisfied, because a woman cannot be naked before any male except her husband. And he fulfilled their desire in this way. Being pleased with them, he took their garments on his shoulder and began to speak as follows. Another joke. "Now you have committed a great offense by going naked in the river Jamuna. Because of this, the predominating deity of the Jamuna, that is Varuna Dev, has become displeased with you. Please, therefore, just touch your foreheads with folded palms and bow down before the demigod Varuna, in order to be excused for this offensive act." The gopis were all simple souls, and whatever Krishna said they took to be true. In order to be free from the wrath of Varuna, as well as to fulfill the desired end of their vows, and ultimately to please Krishna, they immediately abided by his order. Thus they became the greatest lovers of Krishna and his most obedient servitors. Of course, the way that they really like serving Krishna, is by ordering Krishna. That's their service, favorite service, and that's Krishna's favorite service, to serve them. Actually, the gopis didn't even care for Varuna or any other demigod. They only wanted to satisfy Krishna. So Krishna became very ingratiated and satisfied, very grateful and satisfied by their simple dealings. And he immediately delivered their respective garments, one after another. Although he cheated them and made them stand naked before him, and he enjoyed joking words with them, because the greatest in Vedic culture, here is nothing, but in the Vedic culture, the greatest virtue of an exalted lady is chastity. So to give up their chastity together in front of Krishna, that's real, real surrender. Here it's nothing. You just go to the beach and see. They're all naked. Yeah.
Was this Swapaksha and Vipaksha all at the same time? Gopis?
I'm not sure. Perhaps we will see it in the next readings in just a few minutes. That painting was done by my god sister Devahuti for the original Krishna book. But I think nobody of us painted them without some kind of a white bathing outfit. That was very covering. You see that there? Oh, can I see? I know when I did it, I put on a...
They just are using their hands,
Oh,
their arms.
yeah. And their hair. Yeah, Prabhupada liked that painting. He liked her paintings a lot. The attitude of the gopis is described by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. My dear Lord Krishna, you may embrace me or trample me under your feet, or you may make me brokenhearted by never being present before me. Whatever you like, you can do, because you have complete freedom to act. In spite of all your dealings, even though you're a debauchee, you are my Lord eternally, and I have no other worshipful object. This is the attitude of the husband. So Krishna told them, my dear well-behaved girls, I know your desire for me and why you worship Goddess Katyayani, and I completely approve of your action. Anyone whose full consciousness is always absorbed in me, even if in lust, is elevated. As a fried seed cannot fructify. If you fry a seed and then put it in the earth, it's not going to grow. So any desire in connection with my loving service cannot produce any fruit of result as in ordinary karma. Now we're going to be hearing Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. He's so merciful to tell us all these pastimes way, way back in 1969. Now we'll hear from Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj. Where am I? Okay. Sri Apodhyanath Das Adhikari from Keshavapur village in the Maidnapur district was a one-pointed Vaishnava, initiated by Sri Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti's founder, Acharya, and president. Although he took birth in a lower-class poor family, he had firm faith in Mahaprabhu's pure bhakti dharma. He was a grihastha, yet he regularly performed archan puja and sadhan bhajan. He always abstained from eating meat and fish, smoking, and illicit association with women, and so forth. When is it starting? I'm going to skip a little bit. Oh, it's coming up. 1 year previously, in 1958, some important people in the village were collecting donations for the public worship of Sitala Mata, which was to take place in his village, and they insisted that he donate 2 rupees for the puja. He politely replied, "We are initiated into the Gaudiya Vaishnava Dharma, proclaimed by Mahaprabhu, and we are fully under the shelter of the Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti, which is a previous name of ISKCON and a previous name of International Pure Bhakti Yoga Society. Pure devotees are not allowed to perform demigod worship." I never heard her name before. Name is, what's the name? Sitala Mata. It's also prohibited in the Gita, because Krishna says anyone who worships the deity, the demigods, does so without proper understanding, and their fruits are given by me alone, and their fruits are temporary. Villagers became disturbed when they heard this, and they said, "Demigod worship has been going on since ancient times." And the scriptures confirm this. "Let's call an assembly. And when we have heard the arguments on both sides, we will decide whether demigod worship is proper or not." It was agreed to call an assembly in the coming month of July-August, Shravan. But severe floods prevented this. You know Shravan in India, even in Miami, just floods everywhere. During the month of Shravan in the following year, 1959, a philosophical assembly was arranged in Keshapur village, and eminent Smarta Pandits were called to support the villagers' side, whereas Sri Ayodhyanath went to Srila Acharya Keshavi's lotus feet, that is Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, in Chunchura Mat, and in a very moving voice repeatedly requested him to take part in the assembly. "If you don't go there and refute the arguments of the opposite side, it will be impossible for me to stay in that village. They will simply throw me out." Before this occurrence, it had been decided that Srila Acharya Dev, that means the same person, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, it was decided that he would go to Pinchlada to install some deities, which was to take place in the same exact time as the assembly was supposed to take in Keshavapur. But when Srila Gurudev heard his distress-filled prayers, he decided to go there first with Sripad Trivikram Maharaj and the other leading sannyasis and brahmacharis. In the assembly, the Smarta Pandits raised this objection on behalf of the villagers. Demigod worship is described in our Indian scriptures and has been going on since ancient times. We find many proofs of this in the Skanda and Padma Puranas. The worship of Katyayani, Yogamaya, Durga, Kali, Shiva, and others is even seen in Srimad Bhagavatam. So why do Vaishnavas not worship demigods? On Paramaraja Srila Gurudev's order, Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Trivikram Maharaj replied first. He used evidence from the Bhagavatam, Gita, and other shastras to show that the results of demigod worship are temporary. Materialistic people worship demigods to fulfill different material desires. However, all the results or of a temporary nature. Indeed, even those who have attained Swarga, which is one of the highest heavenly planets, they will fall down again to the material world after enjoying the results, and they can even become plants or grains, and then the human eats them for cereal. Maybe you had one this morning. Vaishnavas, however, are exclusively devoted to Krishna bhajan and do not have any material desires in their hearts. After this, he said, he explained to the villagers that Sri Ayodhyaнаথ had not said or done anything wrong. On the contrary, all Shastras approve their actions. So, now he's going to talk about the gopis. If the gopis were worshipping Katyayani, then why did Krishna have to come personally to give the benediction? Because, as mentioned earlier, your worshipful deity comes to benedict you. The reason is that Krishna and his Swarup Shakti, Yogamaya, whose expansion is Katyayani, are non-different. Shakti, Shakti Matayor, Abheda. Can you all say that? Shakti, Shakti Matayor, Abheda. Means the power and the powerful who owns the power. They're non-different. Therefore, in this case, Katyayani Puja is the same as the puja of Sri Krishna, in their case. Krishna himself put an end to the worship of Indra and other demigods. And he also says in the Gita, Yanti deva brata devan pitrim janti patrim brataha, and kamaistar ritagyana prabhadyante nyastevata. Evidence that the results of demigod worship are temporary is also found in Padma. So what he says in the Gita is that if you worship the demigods, you go to the planets of the demigods. If you worship me, you come to me. And that the worship of the demigods yields only temporary results. And they all come from me anyway. They cannot relieve us from the vicious cycle of birth and death, nor can they give us Krishna Bhakti. The second point is that in Padma Purana, demigod worship is prohibited for one-pointed Vaishnavas. So that was about the gopis. What was said about the gopis in the gopis' case?
Shakti Shaktimayor Abeda.
But what was it? What was it about their worship?
They were worshiping, their worship was of Katyayani, but
Can you take the mic?
Sure. The gopis were worshiping Katyayani. The gopis were worshipping goddess Katyayani, but she is non-different from Krishna, being his internal potency. Therefore, Krishna appeared for them at the end of their breath, because when one is doing worship, the worshipful deity is who appears. And so the verse was Shakti, Shakti Mayor Abeda. The power and the possessor of the power are non-different.
another reference given in chapter 9 of Bhakti Rasayan, which is a series of Hindi lectures that Gurudev's disciple translated into English and turned it into one of the 2 or 3 first English books to ever come out of Gurudev's. There's so many beautiful pastimes in here. So now we're going to hear how the gopis were under the influence of Yogamaya. Sanatana Goswami quotes this verse, which you just heard. Katyayani mahamaye mahayogin yadisvari nanda gopa sutam devi pati me kuru te namaha. O Katyayani, O possessor of the Yogamaya potency, please give us the boon of having Krishna as our husband. In this verse, Nada, is that the same verse? Is that there? I don't see that. Maybe there's not enough there. Oh, because in the previous page is discussing how different people see Krishna in different ways. Maya Shritanam Nadadadakena. Those under the influence of Maya see Krishna in one way, and those under the influence of Yogamaya see him in another. So here, Nara means that those who have taken shelter of Yogamaya saw the son of Nanda as an ordinary boy. They didn't see him with Aishwarya Bhav, awe and reverence, but with Madhurya Bhav, loving friendship. If Krishna ever tried to tell the gopis that he was Bhagavan, the gopis would start clapping and say, "What? You are Bhagavan? You're only a liar and a cheat. And when you are hungry, you break your mother's pots of yogurt." So here, Maya Shritanam. So Maya, the word Maya is there, but there's Yoga Maya and Mahamaya. So the gopis only saw Yoga Maya. So here, Maya Shritanam must refer to the gopis who are reciting this Siddha mantra. Which Siddha mantra? Katyayani Mahamune Mahayogin Yadisvardi Nanda Gopa Sutam Devi Pati Me Guru Te Namaha. So I hope before the end of the month you'll all memorize this verse. Not that we want Krishna to be our husband, but just to appreciate the gopis' mood. So here, Mayashritanam must refer to the gopis who, by reciting this Siddha mantra and offering puja to Katyayani, received Krishna as their paramour, because that's what they really wanted. Otherwise, the sequence of the verse would have been incorrect. In the words Nada Dada Kena, the word Dada can also mean wife. So in this way, it also refers to the gopis who always saw Krishna as an adolescent Kishore, handsomely decorated like a new bridegroom and appearing supremely attractive as the king of dancers. This verse is saying that with this dearest paramour of the gopis, the Sakis are playing all day long. The Sakas are playing with the gopis' paramour. So how fortunate must they be considered to be? So many beautiful pastimes in this book. I hope you all read it. And there's one more reference. And this is in also one of the first books to ever come out in English, Going Beyond Vaikuntha, which is a series of lectures that Gurudev gave in Hindi. And where is it? Here we are. All of the variegatedness in Bhagavan's pastimes is arranged by Yogamaya. How powerful she is. We were singing earlier how if someone is averse to Krishna, she's the one who throws them into the material world in the cycle of birth and death in 8,400,000 species. And if anyone wants to turn his face towards Krishna, she gives him liberation and pure bhakti. She's very powerful. Katyayani Mahamaye Mahayogan Yadisvari Nanda Gopa Sutam Devi Patime Kurute Namaha. The gopis worshipped Yogamaya with this mantra. O goddess Katyayani. See, in another translation it says, you are the great external potency. Here it says, O goddess Katyayani, you are the great internal potency. Because ultimately there's no difference. One comes from the other. One is an expansion of the other, and everything depends on how we see. We'll be in Maya or we'll be under Yogamaya, depending on how we see. Although the influence, so you are the internal potency of Bhagavan, the possessor of all mystic powers, and the ultimate controller. Please make the son of Nanda our husband. We offer our obeisances to you. All of the variegatedness of Bhagavan's pastimes is arranged by Yogamaya, although the influence of this potency is indescribable, but still we get to pray personally to her. By the mercy of who's the author of this kirtan? Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. By his mercy, he's so merciful. And we are in the Bhakti Vinod Dhara, which means what? The line of conception coming from Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Although the influence of this potency is indescribable, it is known to pure devotees, and they can describe it. Just as the glories of Bhagavan are indescribable, the glories of this potency are also indescribable. Like when Gurudev was describing her once, he said if you take all the pastimes of Krishna and shape it into a form, that would be Yogamaya Purnamasi. Just as the glories of Bhagavan are indescribable, the glories of this potency are also indescribable. but knowing something of it, Bhagavan's pure devotees have described it. So Sukadeva Goswami, Vyasdev, Parasara Muni, who's the father of Vyasdev, Narada, Rupa and Sanatan, Jiva Goswami, many acharyas have described it. And Sanatan Goswami describes it in this way. Bhagavan's potencies are classified either as superior or inferior. Yogamaya is his superior internal potency, and because she is Bhagavan's natural potency, in some places she's also known by the name Prakriti. Prakriti means nature. She's his natural potency. This Yogamaya and Mahamaya are called the Para, superior, and Apara, inferior potencies, respectively. They are perceived as two forms, but actually they're one. But the original is Para, and its shadow. Everything that has a substance also has a shadow. So the superior's potency has a shadow, and that's the inferior potency. What is the meaning of shadow? That which is non-different from the original, but does not perform the same functions, is called the shadow. Like I can pick up a bucket, but my shadow can't. At least, I mean, it may look like it's picking up a bucket only because I am, but it can't independently. It's not like the shadow of a tree, which performs no activity. Our shadow also performs no activity, but the shadow of Bhagavan's potency is not inactive, unfortunately. We wish she would be inactive, because she grabs us too many times. In Goloka, Krishna's Rasa Leela, taking birth, devotees serving Krishna, Krishna's form, the gopis' forms, the trees, and the plants there. Everything is manifest by the influence of Yogamaya. That's pretty amazing. The trees and plants are manifest by Yogamaya. And is true, everything is true, and everything is eternal. And what are the activities of a Pada Shakti, or inferior power? In different places in nature, by the action of this potency, some things are unreal, and some things are temporary. Some things are satya, real, and some things are asatya, false. All the relationships that we create in this world are false. Whereas all the objects of this world, whereas all the objects of this world are true but temporary. The relationship with the illusory energy is false. But the thing is true but temporary. Shells from the ocean are real. And silver is also real. But the illusion of thinking the shells, sometimes they shine in the sun, the illusion of thinking the shells to be silver is unreal. These shells glitter just like silver, and both of these things are real, the shell and silver. The seer, me, is also real. Three things are real, but considering these shells to be silver is unreal. My vision or consideration is also unreal. When there's a rope, a snake, and a seer, These three things are also real, but the illusion of considering the rope to be a snake is unreal. Considering myself to be this body is unreal, though the earth's elements are real but temporary. At night, when we're walking along in the dark, we may step on a rope. Because it is a little stiff, it wraps around our foot and we cry out, "Snake, snake." Then with the lamp we take a look and our fear disappears. We may have thought that a snake had bitten us and that we were going to die, but after some light comes, the illusion is dispelled. I'm going to die. All of us are undoubtedly real, but to take it that I am this body is illusion. To think that all of these objects belong to me and I am the doer, that is illusion. What is mine? I belong to Krishna. I'm his servant. Up to this point, our conception is real. We should consider all objects as instruments to be employed in the service of Krishna. But instead we think, I am their master. On account of this, so much quarrel and fighting is going on. It's mine. No, it's mine. I did it. No, I did it. Sadhus generally consider that nothing belongs to them, but when necessity for a certain object arises, even they claim ownership over it and fight amongst themselves. Not full sadhus, though. Wannabe sadhus. Therefore, this Maya Shakti is very peculiar. This potency is one, but the external potency binds the jiva in an illusory conception, Vasanti, illusory conception of himself and his surroundings. Whereas the internal potency, Yogamaya, illuminates within the jiva the knowledge of things related to Bhagavan and Bhakti. We may pray to Mahamaya, please be merciful to us. Now we are a little entrapped in your illusion, but we pray to you for Bhakti to the feet of Krishna. This Mahamaya, Kamakya Devi, honestly and effectually gave Gop Kumar the Gopal mantra. Although displaying the form of Mahamaya, she performed the function of Yogamaya. This potency in the form of Yogamaya acts to benefit devotees, but if sometimes someone honestly desires it, then even in the form of Mahamaya, this potency will show mercy. Otherwise, what does she do? She cheats. Come here. What is that story? Come on, enjoy me.
The ice cream truck.
Yeah, I don't want to go into that one now. It's a relatively long story. You can ask Haridas later to tell you this. No, he has no time for anyone. But Vasanti will tell you about the ice cream truck. So, at first, which potency came to Haridas Thakur? In the form of a prostitute, Mahamaya. Next, after she became a devotee, her activities were those of Yogamaya. In all these things we should see the difference and non-difference according to the Siddhanta given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Achintya Beda Beda Tattva. Yogamaya ki jai. Katyayani Vrata ki jai. Gopis and Krishna ki jai. Gaur Premanandi. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Gaura Haribo. Nitai Gaura Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. Gaur Premanandi. Panchakopatarubhyascha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.